for people being supervised on probation and parole, conditions of release often include provisions that appear designed to trap people into technical violations that risk their freedom. These provisions can be everything from curfew violations to associating with people who just happen to live in one's own neighborhood. So what role can the state's attorney play in limiting arrests for these sorts of violations that result in dozens of people being cycled back into jail and prison each year?
Well, first off, these kind of smaller things really shouldn't be part of our diversion programs at all. And I say that as someone, I just had a client who got through a rigorous diversion program. But additionally into that, we certainly shouldn't be putting people in jail for failure to pay fees. I mean, we got rid of debtors' prisons, decades ago. So it's not something that we should be adding to the criminal justice process. And I just come back to the fact that these small sorts of things really shouldn't be part of it at all. I mean, if somebody commits another crime, yeah, they should be violated, but these other things, they shouldn't be.
State's Attorney Fox.
Again, I just want to make sure I understand the question. You're talking about people on conditions of parole, correct?
Correct.
Not diversion.
Right.
Okay. So one of the things that we looked at and took a lot of heat for back when I first came into office was that we were seeing a number of people getting technical violations for associating with gang members. Our office would not and stopped prosecuting those offenses to the ire of some of our judges at 26th Street, who again were using the rhetoric of fear-mongering, saying that she is not prosecuting people for associating with gang members. The reason that we didn't do that is based on what you just said and based on my experience, is that a number of people who live in neighborhoods that are impacted by violence and gangs know people in their own families who are from gangs. And we were essentially saying, as a condition of their release, they could not associate with people who lived in their neighborhoods. And so we stopped prosecuting that and then advocated for that removal down in Springfield from the statutory codes. I think the other thing that we have tried to do is recognize when probation and parole are bringing us violations that we don't have to file them. We don't have to push for them. And working with, for example, probation, which is separate from parole, and saying that we will not rubber stamp technical violations simply because you want to send somebody back down. Same thing with conditions for release on parole, working with the Illinois Department of Corrections and saying that we do not believe that technical violations should be the basis for recommitment for nonviolent offenses.